the government of Nigeria remains deeply committed to the principles of human rights as well as promotion and protection of people's freedom, even in the process of fighting terror. We commit to ensure that all documented cases of human rights abuses are investigated and those responsible for violation held responsible. I thank you very much for listening.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Eric Ham is our chief Washington correspondent for Arise News. He joins us live now from Washington. Tell us more about this historic meeting. Eric, what a day it's been.
It has, and it's a historic day. We do have the president from Nigeria is here. The first time that we've had an African president actually meet with President Trump. And so we saw the discussion with them here in the Rose Garden, and they discussed a lot of issues today, issues surrounding military security, national security, and of course economic security. And so the hope is that this is the beginning, not the end, but the beginning of a larger relationship between Africa's largest country and the United States. And so with me right now, I have Tokunbo, who is a writer for This Day Live out of Nigeria, and he was actually at the Rose Garden ceremony between the president and President Buhari. And so, Tokunbo, we thank you so much for being with us today. Tell me, what were your initial impressions seeing President Buhari and President Trump having this discussion just around many of the issues that they were meeting on, ranging from economic security to military security?
Yeah, it was amazing seeing the two leaders together. One, the leader of the biggest economy in the world, and the other, the leader of the biggest economy in Africa. And the issues both of them discussed were critical issues that are very, very important, especially to Nigeria. Issues of security, issues of trade and investment, issues of transport and all that. And there were also issues about how to foster relations between the two countries. President Trump and President Buhari also used the opportunity to re-emphasize the shared values that actually keep or that hold the two countries together, and it was amazing. It was good.
And so, share with us, what do you think Nigerians will think, given that we've seen the president of Nigeria, actually the first president from Africa, actually meet with this president? Tell us what you think, what that means for Nigerians, and what it means for the influence and the power that Nigeria wields on the continent.
Yeah, it's actually good for Nigeria. Being the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to visit the White House after all the remarks that we heard in the past about Africa, I mean, allegedly made by President.
And actually, do we have that sound of the question that was asked of the president, of the comment that we know that was made, the vulgar comment, because that question actually came up today. But yes, do we have that? Okay, let's play that, and let's play that for our viewers, and then let's come back and talk about that on the other side.
Okay, that's good.
And President Buhari, I want to ask you, you're the first leader from sub-Saharan Africa to visit President Trump here at the White House. Did you address his reported comments from earlier this year when he reportedly used vulgar language to describe African nations?
Well, I'm very careful with what the press says about others than myself. I'm not sure about the validity or whether that allegation against the president was true or not. So the best thing for me is to keep quiet.
We didn't discuss it, and you do have some countries that are in very bad shape and very tough places to live in. But we didn't discuss it because the president knows me, and he knows where I'm coming from, and I appreciate that. We did not discuss it.
And so we saw President Trump asked about that question. President Buhari asked about, and President Buhari said that, well, since he didn't actually hear President Trump make the comment, that it wasn't something that he would actually address. And we saw President Trump say that it didn't even come up in their conversations. So we know that many African nations heard about this alleged comment, this vulgar comment that the president made about African countries. What does it mean for Nigerians to actually see President Buhari meeting with President Trump based on the comments that they believe were made about many African nations, including Nigeria?
Yeah, it will change their views about President Trump. The impression is that he does not like Africans, that he does not have any foreign policy agenda for Africa. Now, with what we have seen today, and with what President Trump said, I look forward to working and building relationships with African countries, including Nigeria. I think it will go a long way in boosting the confidence of other African countries, and they'll see that U.S. again has come back with an open hand to work with other African countries.
And Nigeria is the largest democracy on the continent, and we know that's something that the president really spoke about at this press conference today. He really played that up, the fact that they are this large democracy, and that's something that I think the United States, particularly President Trump, you know, that's something that he wants to see more democracies, more democracy building take place, not just on the continent but around the world. Do you think that being such a large democracy, that will help elevate the relationship between the United States and Nigeria going forward?
Yeah, it will. I believe it will, because if you look at the two leaders, they actually emphasize the similar features or similar things they both share. Apart from democracy, we have similar system of or structure of government, that's federalism. We also have similar values in terms of respect for human rights, in terms of equality, rule of law, and all that. We have all those things that bind us together, and we also have a liberal economy, just like the U.S. So the fact that Nigeria is the largest democracy in Africa, and the fact that we also have all that important position, including being the largest black nation in the world, all this would further seal the relationship between Nigeria and the United States, and it would further boost the things that we would want to do together.